Hey everybody, I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to a special episode of the Chris Cuomo Project. I told you I want your comments. YouTubers, let's get after it. So we're going to do this. You're going to give me some of the comments. And by you, I mean Gregory Ott. And yeah, we're going to get it on. And I'm going to answer your questions. And they don't all have to be nice, but let's have some decency here, huh? To quote Charles Barkley, man, you don't have to be an asshole. So we're going to do this. And as always, thank you for subscribing and following. Do that, please, if you haven't, and spread the word. Don't forget your free agent merch. That's what I'm wearing right now. That's why my voice is strange, because I'm expanding my chest. And I dig it because there's cool stuff in there. You can design your own if you want. And we'll get the money together so we can do some collective contributions. And I think that's really cool. It's great to give back, and it's even better to do it together. Man, you know I use them. Athletic greens. I didn't bring one of my travel packs into the city, so I had to go out without today. I feel a little shriveled and weak. I don't have the energy. I need Greg Ott. I have to eat during the show. Athletic greens, okay? I use it every day. Well, that's not true. You didn't have it today. I told you I forgot the travel packs. And part of the offer here is that you will get free travel packs. And they're nice to have because you don't want to tote the big bag around. All right? Now, why do I use it? The big three, baby. I don't like having all of these different pills and having to figure out the combinations. They do the science for you. It's cheaper than having to buy all those things separately. And that's assuming you even know the right combinations. And third, gut health. Big for me. Greg Ott's still young, self-conscious about these things. Over 50, no shame in your poop game. This helps. It's got the probiotics. It's got the adaptogens. Tastes fine, all right? 1 scoop a day, 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, adaptogens. They also have this new Environmental Plus for you greenies out there. The company and how they make their things are climate neutral certified, all right? So you're gonna get the gut health, energy, recovery, focus, aging. That's why I use Athletic Greens. That's why I can't believe Homeboy over there still isn't.
You don't know that I'm not using it.
You taking your Athletic Greens?
I will be taking them as soon as I forget the promo code. If only somebody would tell me what it was.
Now, another plus to why I like the company. For every purchase you make, the company is going to donate to organizations helping to get nutritious food to kids in need, including No Kid Hungry here in the United States. All right? So there you go. Now, what do you say? If you're like me, you want to reclaim your health. All right? You want to be at your best as often as you can. So reclaim your health, arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. I recommend warm. And that's it. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D. And remember, 5 free travel packs. So you're not like the Mo Man coming here and having to do without. You get the 1-year supply of vitamin D, 5 free travel packs. All you got to do is make your first purchase. All right? You can go to athleticgreens.com/CCP. Athleticgreens.com/CCP. We worked on the deal. Make sure it's real and it's there. All right? And it gives you what you want most. Control, baby. Be in control. All right, I got an ad for you that's actually something useful. Upside. Heard of it? Offsets inflated prices by giving you cash back on purchases. When? Where? How do you use Upside? Okay, it's easy. Of course, there's an app, all right? Question is, what are you going to do with your cash back, right? Look, this is a great one for the show right now because you know how much I'm dealing with inflation with you guys and getting you to understand it and see if anybody's going to do anything about it. And inflation certainly has people trying to find different ways to spend less, all right? Maybe it's driving less. Maybe it's dining out less or buying less from the grocery store. We all agree. There's nothing fun about less. But if you start using Upside, using less or what you do use hurts less. Upside is the real deal as an app. You buy gas, grocery, dining out. With this thing, you don't have to cut back because you get cash back on every purchase, all right? These are things that you would have normally made, like, let's say, treat items. Latte, getting my nails done. What? You think a man doesn't like a nice light buff?
You're pointing at me like I get a buff all the time.
And you don't have to be, a hipster guy like Greg Ott in order to want these kinds of nice things for yourself. And they don't have to be a treat. If you use Upside, because you're getting cash back when you do it, it kind of puts it into an okay thing and not something that you just have to keep for the special times. So you want to get started? Download the free Upside app, and I have a promo code, all right? Chris5. And you get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more, okay? You can also claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. How? Check in at the business. Pay as usual, right? You credit, debit card, and then you get paid. So using the app is easy. And you can use the promo code Chris5 and you'll get you $5 or even more back on your first purchase. All you got to do is buy something that's worth $10 or more. $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using the promo code Chris5. Times are tough. Find ways to make it easier. Upside makes it easier. So let's get after it. What do you have, Ot?
Okay, so this is from the Tyler Perry interview that you did. There's I've seen a lot of these comments, but these stood out to me. Perry is full of it. There are no two sides like the left and the right are equal. They are not. The left did not kill people during the January 6th attempted overthrow of our country. The left does not call for violence and guns everywhere. The right is the party of Putin and extremism. Perry wants to sell more movies to Republicans, but he does not speak the truth. Chris should have called him out on that.
Call yourself out. You're wrong about Tyler Perry, and you're wrong and are making a false equivalency. Your charge is false equivalency against Tyler Perry, but you are actually the one who is guilty of the infraction, and I'll tell you why, okay? The left and the right are not equal. Tyler Perry didn't say that they were. What he is doing is attributing responsibility in both places for a zero-sum toxic twosome, and they both play the game. They play it different ways and to different degrees. The Democrats are not infested with the kind of toxic groupthink and fringe magnification that the right is. And I think you see that right now in the unrest over the Trump announcement. I think a lot of people in this party wanted to get away from him, but were afraid to say it because they're afraid of that 30% of their base. Now, maybe it's not 30% in that party. His numbers are strong. It's like 80% of Republicans back Trump. I was shocked by that number. But hey, that's reality. So they don't have to be the same to both be part of a problem, right? And I think the idea, you should have called them out. Look, you guys only want me to call people out when you don't like what you're hearing. When I call out your side, then you get pissed off and you make this false equivalency. This is the problem with the game. This is why the two-party system has to end, man. You are too tied to a party that you don't really want to own. You have to because the other one is worse. Well, when are we going to shift from what's worse to what's better? That's not a semantic difference. It's a real difference. And that's why I'm about free agents. Independence. You vote for the person and the policy, not some perverse sense of less worse. Next.
Well, in the Kara Swisher interview, Dougie Higg wants to know, how much money does George Soros pay Chris Cuomo to foment hate in America? How much is Soros paying you right now? How much is he paying my salary? Am I on Soros' payroll?
I'll tell you what. I like to beat down the idea of a boogeyman, and that's what George Soros is. However, he did put his money behind a lot of prosecutors who have some very perverse, extreme left views about who should be prosecuted and what crime is about. So I guess you could blame him for that, but you're allowed to use your money as speech in this country, right? That was a Republican case that decided that, Citizens United. It's a righty organization. The court said that speech is also money. Money can be speech. And that's it, man. We were off to the races. The problem in our politics isn't illegal money. It's legal money, dark money. Is Soros this big bad guy? I don't believe that. I know a lot of people who don't like him, and there are various reasons for that, but I don't care. He's not controlling the game. You're being controlled by people who are making you afraid of George Soros. What about the Koch brothers? What about Mercers? What about all of them? There's a lot of big money people that have influence in the game. Don't get played for a sucker, okay? Don't let people tell you who to be afraid of. Don't let people tell you how to think. Don't be a lemming, okay? Be a free agent. Be independent. Be a critical thinker, all right? Your problem is not George Soros. It's the people who are telling you that, okay?
You had a great two-part interview with Bob Costas a little while ago.
I did.
This is a comment on that. So John Griffin says, so Bob bemoans the state of the current political climate with people attacking the man rather than the message, the person rather than the policy. And then, for the next 20 minutes, launches an assault on Trump, the person.
There is nothing wrong with Bob Costas having an opinion about another person. He ain't running for office. You left that part out of your analysis, brother, because you're a Trumper. You understand? And that's cool. That's okay. I don't agree with your choice, but it's your choice. Costas ain't running. It's that if he were running for office and all he did was tell you how Trump is the most bad businessman or a cheater or a liar or anything else that people say about the guy, that's where it's out of place. Have your opinions. You have your opinions about me. You have an opinion about Costas. You have an opinion about anybody. That's fine. But it's about what the people who are asking to be our leaders do. How does that process work? That's what Costas is saying needs to be better. We can all have our opinions. That's fine. You just can't have your own facts.
This is from your interview with James Carville. Do not call Social Security an entitlement. It is and always has been an insurance program. I'm 72 years old. I paid premiums for 45 years. Congress did not.
Congress did not. I don't understand. They pay in also as individuals. It's about your paycheck. It is SSI is social insurance, but it is also an entitlement, meaning it's something you should get if you qualify. But I get what you're saying. It's not a gift, is what you're saying, and you're right. It's not a privilege. It's something that you are entitled to because you've paid into it, and it's something that we must keep safe and secure. And I do think that there is enough ambition and avarice to really believe that exposing it more to the market makes sense. And letting people privately manage it and giving that money to other places makes sense. And I disagree with that unless I am much more down the road of being convinced that it can be done responsibly and in a way that insulates us from ups and downs, right? That's what the market's about. When you take your money out is a big deal. It's something we all have to deal with in our 401ks. That's not what insurance is. Insurance has got to be there. That's why it's called insurance.
This is from Ginger McIntosh. This was actually a comment on the video of your comments, but I think she was talking about addressing something that you must have brought up in that. Canceling that the left mainly engages in. I'm sorry, are you kidding? The uproar over a black mermaid, banning books like To Kill a Mockingbird, arresting parents for supporting their trans children, canceling women's right to choose. I think you need to rethink this.
I think that you too should rethink it. Because you are assigning blame without looking at the precipitating factor, okay? And look, I'm not saying that anybody's got the market cornered on going too far or in being unreasonable. But what I said about the left stands. Two things can be true at once. The things you point out are bad, and it can be that they're precipitated by things sometimes that are bad. For instance, LGBTQ and the expanding vocabulary and the expanding reality of diversity is not always an easy sell. Too bad. I don't have to sell it. Well, you do if you want acceptance. You live your own life. You live it the way you want and the way you think is right. You identify the way you want. That's fine. But do you go too far when you force other people to have to see things the way you do? Yes. Do you go too far when you force other people to see you the way you do? Now, that's an interesting question. I would say no, that you should be treated the way you want to be treated. But it's not that simple. It's not that they're respecting you as that in terms of your rights, but privileges. Do I have to call you what you want to be called? I don't know. I think it depends on the context. I think it depends on the place and what the rules of that place are. You may not like how I refer to you. I may not like how you refer to me, and then we don't deal with each other. The workplace is going to be about the rules of that workplace, unless it's the government, and they're going to be governmental guidelines. But I think it's much more nuanced and much more complicated than you're making it. And I think this is a big problem with the two-party system, is that you guys see their worse as meaning you have no flaws. And that if anybody talks about your flaws and your mistakes and your shortcomings as a party and a group and a bunch of ideologues, well, then they're doing something really dangerous because the other side's worse. So don't talk about me. I don't buy that. Hey, my small business brothers and sisters. You know what time of year it is, right? Seasonal excitement or dread, right? Got to get stuff out. Business is tough. You got to close accounts. You got to get all your correspondences right. Slaying through traffic to the post office. Inbox is more like a blizzard than a winter wonderland. Rushing to send cards and gifts to your loyal clients. For me, that's about 2 people. It's not too late to get your holiday mailing and shipping under control. How? That's how Greg Ott sounds.
I sound nothing like that.
Stamps.com. Do you use it?
Yeah, I do use it. I use stamps.com to mail things.
You have a great voice, by the way.
Thank you. So you have a great voice.
Sign up now and you'll be printing your own postage in minutes. Stamps.com is your one-stop shop for all your shipping and mailing needs. Now, if you were to ask me the same thing, I'd say, nope, but my wife does. And she runs her own business called The Purist.
Your wife has a great voice?
She absolutely has a great voice, except when she's yelling at me. But she runs her own company.
Oh, she uses Stamps.com. I'm still thinking about myself and my voice.
Yes. You are known for being intelligent, by the way. That's what it said on your resume.
My resume, yeah.
20 years Stamps.com has been doing what it's been doing. Indispensable. 1 million businesses. Okay? What else do you need to hear? It's stress-free. It's a solution for every small business. You use Stamps.com, you print your postage wherever you do business. All you need is a computer and a printer. And if you need package pickup, you can schedule it right through Stamps.com. They have a dashboard there. This holiday season, you can trade late nights for silent nights, get it? And get started with Stamps.com today. Got a promo code, Chris. You think you can remember that? For a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. I wonder what I weigh in digital. No long-term commitments or contracts necessary. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code Chris. Oh, got a new sponsor, and you know who's going to love him? Greg Ott. Why? Night sweats. What do you do if you're someone who's a sweaty sleeper? Well, you know what you need? Breathable bedding. This is a great holiday gift idea. I'm excited about this. I went out and went after these folks. Cozy Earth. Oprah's favorite things 5 years in a row. That's not why I went after him, but that's cool, right? It's got to be good for the brand.
Oprah Winfrey?
Yes.
Wow.
You know why I dig it? Bamboo, I'm big on. Cozy Earth. Here's why it's so nice. Viscose, highly sustainable bamboo. What does it mean that it works that way? It is naturally temperature regulated. Well, so what does that mean? Homie's not so sweaty. You see what I'm saying? Because it helps you stay cooler. You know, people who have to kind of like take the bedding and move it to the side so their feet can come out because they got to be half cool, half warm. This bedding really will help make a difference with that. Naturally temperature regulated. Cozy Earth bedding, all right? It's really cool. It comes in a reusable canvas bag. I'm not exactly sure why you want that, but I guess it helps you for gift giving, all right? You can save 40%. Cozy Earth bedding, loungewear, sweaty Greg, PJs, towels, okay? This is a holiday offer, so it will end, right? You go to cozyearth.com/Chris, all right? Be sure to enter Chris at the checkout, and you will save 40%. Come on, it's a good deal. Be real, I wish I got it. That's cozyearth.com/Chris. Don't sweat in your sleep. Don't be Greg. Be cool. Sleep with bamboo. Cozy Earth.
You recently started releasing your walk and talks where you get on the street and you give some advice and such, or share what you've learned in your life. They're very popular. They've gotten a lot of comments on the channel. Ms. Renault writes, to be or not to be is the question on the Joie de Walk, and the answer is another question. Is that even a question?
No. You don't have a choice about whether to be or not to be unless you're talking in the specific context of Hamlet where he's talking about killing himself. Isn't it interesting that suicide is a crime? Doesn't that give you such an interesting insight to how twisted our morality and our precepts are here? And yet we don't really deal with the things that make people want to commit suicide. We just make it a crime because it's wrong. We don't deal with how to help people get themselves right and to deal with problems. Look, existential things are very deep. I am somebody who tries to keep it very simple, okay? I try to focus on what I control. I try to see an opportunity no matter what happens. I try to have hope that good things are going to be coming my way if I'm putting out good things, and I'm always ready for bad. I'm always prepared for bad things that happen. And I wish I weren't so much. I wish it weren't on my mind as much as it is, but that's my reality. And that's something I am trying to work on, but it's not easy. I don't know that I'll ever really change. But I do think if you keep it simple, if you're kind, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, if you try to do something where you're putting more into society than you're taking out of society, I think these are really good things. I think it's good to have things to love and care for, even if that's a pet as opposed to a person. I think it's good. I think we need other people. I think we're communal beasts, to be or not to be. As long as you're alive, the choice has been made for you. So make the most of to be.
Finally, there's a lot of feedback about your choice of headwear in these walk-in talks. Robert Ratz writes, "Hi, Chris. What's the brand of hat that you're wearing? That's a cool hat." Lauro Garcia writes, "Your hat is great. Don't worry. Your true heart is what I like, sir." And then Obi writes, "What a dosser. Take off that hat, you ball bag."
What is he, British?
It looks like an avatar of an Oreo.
I didn't ask you if he's a cookie.
Well, I don't know what the
what is a
ethnicity of this.
tosser? What is a ball bag? I mean, I know what they are, but those aren't American things.
Yeah, I think it's a sports phrase.
Really?
Yeah. What do you put your baseballs in?
And then he's got a good poker face. That's
you had two hats though. You had the one you have like a little red cap, and then you had that the Andy Cap hat.
Those are caps that a friend of mine gave to me and turned me on to. And sometimes they are for people, they call them chemo caps. They're for people going through chemo to keep their heads warm because you can lose your hair depending on the drug combination and your tolerance of it. And I like them because my hair is very often very nesty and bushy. And it's a way of just kind of keeping it out of the way so that it's not the only thing people focus on. And I love hats. And I'm often head cold. So that's where it comes from. And here's the good news. I really don't care whether people like how I dress or don't. I know a lot of people say that. I obviously live it. And that's okay. I don't have lots of clothes. In fact, I can't wait to give the young man here who is in his sartorial prowess phase a shit ton of really expensive dress shirts that I will never wear again.
That is true. You before this recording, you came out with this pair of shoes. So I'm wearing. They're about a half size too big for me, but I'll make them work. These are nice shoes. These are gonna be covered in tomato sauce in about 2 weeks. But
you can wash them. That's what's great about them. And I only wore them like twice. And
that's all you need.
Somebody should be using them. Anything I have that I haven't worn in a year should go. There's just no need to have it.
Well, Amanda writes, "I love Greg, too. I love your dynamic together. Your budding bromance is everything." And I can't think of a more fitting comment to close this out, as you're about to rummage through your closet to give me your old shit.
Very little rummaging. And really, it's not old. You'll see. I mean, this stuff is new. It's not like I'm going to give you something with a tear in it. I think
I'll take worn clothing. I'll take dirty clothing. I'll take it all.
Well, you guys like that.
You gave me a pair of socks once when I got caught in the rain.
Yeah, you never gave them back.
They're on the way.
Yeah, sure they are. You hipster people like thrift shops.
Thrift? I'm not a hipster, man. You think I'm a hipster?
To thine own self be true, hipster boy.
You think a guy who eats sweet green and listens to the National is a hipster?
You do not take your athletic greens, though.
They're also on the way. No, they're
just say no.
When I get the socks, I'm sending out the greens.
Bromance cheapens our relationship. It's like when people say something is fratty or you're fratty. I'm 52 years old. I went to Yale University. I went to Fordham Law School. The idea that I'm some type of beer swilling, keg standing, slap you on the ass type guy is a fundamental misunderstanding of who I am as a person. I never wanted to be that. When I was in it in college, I left it. It's not who I am. And I don't like rough guys. And if you knew my guys, a lot of strong guys. A lot of powerful guys. I think almost every single one of them is an alpha, but they're all led by their heart. They're really smart. They're really compassionate. And the biggest gift in my life is my friends. And they're sophisticated, man, and they care and they give. And that's what a good man is. That's what a good woman is. That's what a good person is. You live your best and you do as much as you can for the rest. And I appreciate you for your comments, because you're taking the time to make them. And I respect that. We are not going to agree on a lot of things. I am not in the business of placating people. If I were, I'd be a lot more successful. But I don't think it's what we need. I think you get enough of that. So what I tell you is what I'm able to figure out with my head and my heart, and I believe it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm open to being wrong. It happens with stunning frequency. But I'll tell you this much, I'm not faking the funk. Thank you very much for commenting. Please continue to do so. I hope along this journey, Greg figures out exactly who he is and what he's about.
I just hope there's no funk in your clothes.
Shit. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, follow. In your free agent gear, we're going to get the money together and we're going to give it to good causes in the main. I'll see you next time.